Hi, Violet. Hey, Yolanda. Welcome to the Queendom, my cousin Yolanda Powell. Welcome to the Queendom. You guys, we stopped at McDonald's, and let me tell y'all what I found out. They don't sell the nuts anymore. So when you get a caramel, you can't get the nuts, even though they're in the bag. You can't get them. They said because of allergies. What the? I ain't got allergies to nuts. What's wrong with y'all? That blew me. That blew me right there. That blew me. That blew me. Hi, D. Carol. So all I got is a caramel. It's still good with the caramel. Not anymore. Not anymore. The girl who made our Sundays and stuff, she had her evil eye necklace on. And I showed her mine, and she was like, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I was like, I love yours. I love yours. I love yours. I'm not allergic. I want my nuts. That's what make it good. Y'all hear my dog? My son, he likes the double fudge too. This is good. It is so good. It's so good. I told her to put some extra caramel in. Thank you for the thumbs up. The one person. Hey, Jamie. None of my moderators came in today. None of them. You're right, Violet. I like the cute ones though. Like this one, the hand. I love this one because it lets me know that the hand is watching over me. And then this one, my little choker, it's a regular one. It's just the eye. And so I like that one too. And then I got my chakra necklace. So some of them I like. Hey, Micah, baby. Thank you, love. Ooh. I love it. That is so pretty. Thank you. That's what she said. When I showed her the hand one, she was like, oh my God, that is so pretty. I love my hand one. Mm. Jamie's going to help me with my mind. All right. You're now a moderator, Jamie. Mm-mm. She said, yes, I am, girl. And then, did y'all notice my sun and my moon earrings? I love them. I bought them from Amazon. Hey, Shalom. Look, I ate this up in 2 seconds flat. Y'all, when I was going to pick the kids up, somebody, I don't know what they did, but the cops had them pulled over. The fire department, everybody was out there. I don't know what happened. That part, Jamie, that part, I don't know what happened. But when we drove back, so when I was going, the cops, the fire department, everything, everybody was everywhere when I was going. And then when I was coming back, they had towed dude's car. The car wasn't broke down. It was a nice car. It was a newer car. They had towed the car. Y'all hear me? They had towed the car. I was just like, what did he do? That's what I was thinking. What did he do? So anyway, you guys, let me go. I gotta go get a cup of ice. Hold up. Wow. It's been a lot of people that's been going through some stuff. Yes. And I had people while I was at work was contacting me saying that I got the two people that contacted me while I was at work that said they need a cleansing. They were like, I need a cleansing. Girl, when are you available, Miss Gina? And I'm supposed to do their cleansings this weekend. But I had told them I would be on today doing readings if they wanted, today. So yeah, because honey, the big D, I'm not gonna give them the satisfaction to say, well, the big D has been working hard at hey Sarita, at trying to make everybody feel down or whatever. So that's one of the reasons why I love being around my kids. Like I truly, I don't have any friends like somebody that I could say, oh, really, like that's my friend. You either are like a sister to me or not. And most of the time I'm by myself. Like you either see me alone or you see me with my children. You don't see me. I don't hang out like with a bunch of different women. I just never been that way. I don't go over nobody's house to gossip, and don't nobody come over my house to gossip, okay? We just don't. None of that stuff ain't. That's not going down. And I like it that way. You know, I prefer that. You see how when my daughter came and she come, we joke around, you know, we have fun, and a lot of people wish that you know, they had a mother and daughter relationship like that. You know, where you could joke around with your daughters, where your daughter could joke around with you, and and then she can go and hang off with her friends and do her thing, and then I go hang off with me, myself, and I, me, myself, and I. And I just said my kid's godmom, she was just like, we need to have a girls trip. Let's take a girl. I said, honey, you mean a woman's trip? We need to go have a woman's trip. Like, yeah, let's go have a woman's trip. But I love being alone. I love being, and I'm not meaning alone like you don't got nobody to. I mean, I don't mind going out, hanging out by myself, uh, 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 coming home, because that keeps down a lot of mess. I'm not ever in no mess. Nobody can ever say Gina said anything about anybody or did anything to anybody, because I'm always by myself. I don't like a lot of people that's on here that you'll see me show love and support for a lot of the ladies on here, a lot of the queens, because I'm just that friendly person. I love them, and when I see them, I get happy. But we don't talk off camera. Like I don't. No, these folks, they don't have my personal number. You know, where we, because I just don't. Because when a person get mad at you, especially on this social media shit, when a person I've seen it. I've been in it, where when they get mad at you, they want to destroy you. You see how they go? They want to destroy. When they decide to link up with somebody else, and that other person don't like you, and they linking up with them, they want to destroy you. You know, they want to put bad stuff out about you. They want to do. So I prefer just be by myself, me and myself, and that, because I did that. I did the whole friendship thing and best friends thing and tried to do that with you. And these fucking folks on here is bipolar. They got mental issues. They going through a whole bunch of stuff. And when they feel that you're not siding with them, when they feel that when you're not kissing their asses, how they want you to do, then they want you. I had one young lady and I thought we were really, really close, to the point that my kids was calling her auntie. And my children love, and they still love her to this day. I don't, when they ask about her, I just say, oh, she's okay. But we don't talk anymore. All because she was mad because I didn't throw somebody else off my platform. And then so she got so mad, and then she turned against me. And then next thing I know, she was talking crazy about me. And then next thing I know, that bitch wasn't like a sister to me. I'm not them. I'm not our kids' auntie. Like, she went all the way left. And I'm just like, family members, if you care about somebody, love somebody, like, you don't always get along. You don't, everything's not going to be perfect and everything. But why hurt the kids? You understand what I'm saying? Why? And I'm real protective over my children. If my children call you auntie, if my kids call, because I don't let nobody meet my children. And if I allowed you, and that including females, but if I allowed you to meet my children, that means I really got love for you. That means it's a special place in my heart if I allow you to meet my children and I allow them to talk to you. And when I tell you, I was hurt, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I don't sugarcoat. I was deeply, and people knew. They was like, Miss Gina hurt. She took this hard. Yeah, I was. There was even another YouTuber that wanted to get back at me also, and this person, she said, you just mad because she ain't your friend no more, and because she talked about, and I said, bitch, yeah, you right, I am mad. I don't know if she thought I was gonna lie about it or whatever, but no, I told the truth. I was mad. I was hurt. My feelings was hurt because, like I said, if I had seen it, if I had ever knew that she was going to turn on my kids like that, I would have never introduced them. I would have never allowed them to talk to her or anything. And when they mention her, even to this day, they still say Auntie so and so. And then I turned around and befriended someone else who did the same thing. Was calling my kids their nieces and nephews. She said she was the godmama, and I let my kids get close to her. And then the next thing, she turned on them. Like, see, because when kids care for you and they love you, they don't just turn it off. It doesn't just get turned off. Like, they love you forever. They ask about you all the time. And my children, if I say this is Auntie so and so, and this is my sister, and this is family, my children are gonna always look at you at that way because they trust you. And again, for the second time, second individual did the same thing. Honey, she wrote my kid, wrote them off, went and hooked up with the enemy and let the enemy come on her platform, and then made up some lame excuse about why she had him on her platform after this fool threatened to rape and sodomize my daughter. Same guy. He threatened to rape and sodomize my daughter. But she said she was doing it because it was a business thing. No, anybody that's a sister to me and you're supposed to be an aunt to mine, you ain't gonna have the nigga on your platform that threatened to rape and sodomize my daughter. Like, where do you do that at? So that was the first strike. So I've learned after both of those situations to be very careful of who I let into my life, especially my personal, and I'll never do that again. I'll never ever let anyone else ever get close to my children like that again. There'll never be another Auntie so and so. There'll never be another Uncle so and so. And now I might let somebody get close to me because that's just how I am. And if my feelings get hurt, I'm woman enough to say you hurt my feelings. Y'all see that. But I'll never put my children through that. I would never do that again because everybody is not going to think like me. Everybody is not going to be in mindset of, you know what? I'm no longer friends with Gina. I don't give two flying fucks to the wind about Gina, but I'ma still be mindful and respectful for her children because her children was calling me auntie. See, they don't think like that. They don't think like that. And it hurted. And it hurted me. And like I said, even to this day, my kids still would ask, because I don't talk to my children about stuff like that. When I fall out with somebody, I don't go back to my children and say, that ain't your auntie. No, don't call her that bitch. No, I don't do that because I don't want to hurt them. So when they come and they say, hey, Mom, how is Auntie such and such? We ain't seen her. I say, oh, she doing okay. She's fine. I'll let her know you asked about her. And then I'll come back and I'll lie. And I'll come back and tell them, oh, she asked about you. No, she ain't been too more. These broads ain't been too more asked about my kids than the men. They can give two flying fucks less to the wind. If my kids got shot by John, ran down by Bill, or threw off the train by Jamie, it would not matter. It would not matter to them, but it matters to me. And it matters to my kids. And so I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again. And that's the thing. I'm too trusting. And I'm too loving and I'm too caring. And I don't realize, and I had to learn that. And I don't realize that when people get mad at you, when they get mad at you because you don't like others the way they like others, or you won't pick and choose. I'm my own woman. I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. I'm not going to stop liking somebody because you stop liking them. I'm going to pay attention. Look, listen, and learn. That's what I'm going to do. Now, if they on some fuck shit and they did some fuck shit, I could be cordial, but I will never, ever, ever get with them and fuck over you. I would never do that. I would never do. And anybody that's a part and own some pedophile shit, some rapist shit, oh, they could never say two words to me. They could never say, and it would never be a business deal or any kind of deal ever if I call you my sister. Never, ever that. So it's a learning experience, and you have to learn from it. And I just had to learn from it. I had to learn from it. That's all. And now I'm more careful, and I'm more careful with whom I'll have my kids around and whom I'll let be around them. But never ever would I ever let them call another individual who I think or who I assume is like a sister to me. Would I allow my kids to call them auntie because I believed what that person say? Mm-mm, mm-mm. Because people don't care. They don't care. They don't care that you hurt a child. That's a child. That's a baby. You know, that when they used to talking to you and they're used and they light up, you know, they light up like a Christmas tree when I get online and they're like, it's auntie such and such on there. And I'm like, yeah, here she go. And all, and then all of a sudden that's cut short. Like you could just cut them off and you can just ignore them and you can just, you know, just like, and this person, she promised me she would never do. She's like, Gina, I would never, ever. She said, ever. She said, I would never, ever do you or your children like the last people did. And that's exactly, and she did exactly the same thing, if not worse. She did exactly the same thing, if not worse. So I learned I never let anyone else get that close to my children. Ever. Like y'all see us have fun and you'll see where they'll come on and they'll say, hey everybody, how is everybody doing? And that's about all you would see. But as far as auntie so and so and no, I never do that again. I never do. I did it twice because I trusted these two ladies and I thought that we can argue. I'm that person that if you mad at me, I'm gonna ask you why you mad at me. What can I do to make it up? And if I get upset with you, I'm gonna talk to you because I'm a communicator. I'm not gonna speak bad of you. I don't actually. The first young lady, nobody never knew we got in an argument because I never spoke about it. She was the one that got in her feelings and then brought it up, and then I was everything but the child of God. And then the second one just decided to be a follower, and she wanted to follow every which way, and then until other people start turning on her, and then but in the process of while she's trying to come up with off of somebody else, she throwing me out the door, you know, with the trash, you know, along with my kids that she claimed that was there, you know, that she would be an auntie to, and like us, and then I just. You know, I just knew I had to step back. And so now I just know that I got to be careful. And I'll never, ever, there will never be another auntie so-and-so ever again for my children. I have two sisters. My mother gave birth to 3 kids. Okay. My mother gave birth to 3 daughters. 3 daughters. And as you all know, one of my sisters died, was murdered. So therefore, it only leaves me and one other sister. So my children only have one aunt. They only have one aunt. That's all they have, and they hardly ever see her. They hardly ever see her. So it's just me, you know? It's just me. So when they became close to the individuals who was like, Gina's like a sister to me, and then they always asked about the kids, my children was very happy and very excited to be able to call someone auntie. because they don't have an auntie. They didn't have it. And it made me very happy that they had someone that when I go on live and she comes on live and pop up, they'd be like, hey, you see them, they'll run through even my sons and they would say, hey, auntie such and such. It brightened my day because it brightened their day because they finally had someone that they could call auntie because we don't have any family. They don't have any family. I remember when my child, hey Lena, I remember when my twins, when my children came to me, my three youngest, and they came to me and they said, Mommy. I said, yeah. They said, do you have a mom? I said, huh? They said, do you have a mom and dad? Do you have a dad? And I said, yeah, I have a mom and dad. My children never ever knew my mom because they were little babies when they met my mom, so they didn't remember her. They had no recollection of my father. They had never met him. They had never seen him. They had never ever even seen a picture of my father because my father passed away when I was a child. So for these beautiful little faces to come to me, because when they would go to their friends and they would go to other people's houses, they would see mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. They saw folks that had aunts and uncles. They never saw any of that in their own life. They never had any of that in their own life. So when I attached myself to those two individuals and they started calling me their sister, it was like, wow, that's the sister that I wasn't even around. And then to lose my sister, and then for them to say that I'm their sister, and then that and they allowed my children to call them, that meant a lot to me. That meant the world to me. That meant the world to me. But people don't think like how you think. Before my sister even died, and my sister was murdered, before she died and before she passed away, she wasn't a sister because she was dealing with her own demons. My sister was a drug addict for over 20 something years. Okay. So she was in and out of jail. She was dealing with her own demons. So she never really came around. And only time she came, if she did come around or call, was when she wanted money. So it was delightful. Thank you, Lena. It was delightful to have someone that says, oh yeah, I love your kids, Gina. They so well mannered and respectful. They could call me auntie. And if to have another individual to say, I'll never leave them. I made her promise to me. I said, please, 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 whatever you do, please don't hurt my kids. Please. Because they don't have any. She said, Gina, I promise you, I would never hurt them. I'm going to be in their life forever. I'm their God. She don't even call to check. She don't even call to say how they doing. She don't even, never call, never, honey, things. Like I said, these YouTube people, they blow with the wind. And she blew right with the wind, right with them. And I wasn't bothered by that because I know how they work and how people get down. But I was bothered and I was hurt because, again, my kids lost another aunt. It's like death all over again because now they'll never see these ladies again. They'll never talk to them again. So it's like losing their aunt whom already passed away. It's like losing them all over again. Thank you, Dinette. Thank you, Jamie. So now it's a lesson learned. And so now that's why I say now you just got to make changes. Just got to make changes, got to make changes. So I'll be careful and I'll be very mindful. And you will still always see me alone by myself or with one of my kids, with my children. That's it. That's it. Anything that I do, it's going to be either I'm doing it by myself or I'm doing it with my kids. And they do have two amazing godmothers. that has been in their lives since their lives. And they will never leave. And they will never leave. So I thank God for those two individuals that they didn't leave. But I'll never, ever, 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 as long as I live, let anybody else get close to my kids. Never, ever again. Never. No matter what they can say on a stack of Bibles. We can pull out a stack of Bibles and they can pray till their tongue fall out. I will never, ever trust that again. Never. 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 Exactly, Jamie. Life lessons are so hard sometimes. Love, yep. I have been very hard. Yep. Very hard. Very hard. Why she keep telling me she home? I hate this phone. I I do not like iPhones. I know everybody loves them. I can't with these iPhones. I'm just gonna say they are not for me. The iPhones are not for me. You are so much like me about things. Sarita, you say that all the time. You say that. Sometimes that may be a good thing. I love it when I see myself in other people. There was someone, and this person, and she used to come on all the time. She doesn't come on here anymore. She would always come on to my YouTube channel all the time. And there was things that she did, and things she had just as many kids as me, if not more. And every time we would talk or she would say something, I would see myself in her. And I'm just like, wow, she's so much like me. And I think that's a blessing, because I always talk about the connection. You have that connection with somebody in their energy. And like I said, God don't make no mistakes. He leads us around in certain directions for a reason. He has you attached to yourself so you can see that, like he led me to that young lady. Hi, Tashay. Like he led me to the young lady, Miss Unique. And I was over there and I popped over there on Miss Unique's channel and I told y'all, oh, I like her. I like how she read cards. I like how she conducts her business, and which woke me up. Because you know why? How I was able to see myself in her. I was able to see myself in her. The only difference was, yes, it is a blessing. Sarita, is definitely a blessing. The only difference was she's a very smart woman because she knows her worth. She's a very smart woman, that Miss Unique. She knows her worth, and she wasn't accepting anything less. And I thought I knew mine because I thought I was helping a lot of people by being genuine and blessing them with my gift, and thinking that they would share it with others, and they didn't do none of it. The only thing that they did was take advantage. The only thing they did was take advantage. So it was great that I got to see how the business side is supposed to get down. And I watched Miss Unique. I sat back and I paid attention, and I was like, I got to go live. I was like, I got to go live because, honey, Miss Unique is over there doing her damn thing. She's called Unique Tarot LLC. Please go check her out. Please go check her out. Tell her Miss Gina sent you and give her a thumbs up because she's amazing. She was an amazing lady. Miss Jamie said, you are a blessing to me and so many more. Thank you, Miss Jamie. Yes, Lord, and God will reveal the truth to protect you every time. Every time. Look, look, I can remember and tell you right now, hi T Pretty. I can tell you right now, it's 11:11. They come on with it. Yep, it's 11:11. There go again. Them angels. Look at them angels around. Look at them angels around. I was asleep and I woke up. And when I woke up, I was like, oh, she's on. And she got a guest. And when I saw who the guest was and I heard what I said, no, I know I ain't heard what I heard. I know I can't see. And she had that person on there that said he would rape and sodomize, at the time, my 13-year-old daughter. She was 13. And I said to myself, you call yourself my kid's aunt and my sister, because my sister wouldn't have never had anybody like that around on our platform or even near her. And her excuse was, it's a business thing. We just take care of this. I'm just going to handle this. And I'm saying to myself, that's a sellout. You would sell out your own sister and your niece to do business with a pedophile and a rapist? I didn't understand that. It hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad that I was just like, okay, now it's time to remove myself. Because, sometimes you just got to, you got to remove yourself. You got to remove yourself. Sometimes, instead of it's not worth the argument, it's not worth, you going back and forth and it's not worth none of that. It is just best to just remove yourself. And that's what I did. And then I never spoke on it again until now. But that was the most hurting thing. It was like all over. Yes, Sarita, it was the most hurt. It was like someone stabbed me in my heart. Because this person knew my kids is everything to me. Everything to me. And I could get over a lot of things. And I could get through a lot of things. But that right there, that's something I'll never forget. And I could be cordial, but we'll never be friends ever again. We'll never be friends. We'll never be associates. We'll never be anything ever again. And my children will never, ever, 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 ever call her auntie ever again. Because if you do that as an auntie, I would hate to see what you do to your enemy, to some, if this is a person you claim you love and care about, and that's what you do. But like the young lady said, God will show you. You ask him to reveal what goes on in the dark, it will come to light. It will definitely come to light. It will definitely come to light. So I just say, be careful. Just be careful, especially if those of you that's new to this and, you start developing friends and stuff, really quick, and you think the person is cool and everything, cover your heart and be careful and be mindful. Because I can handle a lot. I've been through a lot. But my kids, they the most loving, the most caring. Y'all see the most well-respected children. that you would ever come across. Get with these here. Something ain't right. Prayer that your heart mends. Thank you, Jamie. Oh, it's been my heart been mended. It's been good and everything else. I'm great. You know what? We was talking about this today. I love being alone. I don't mind being by myself. And everything that I do and how I do it, I make my kids very, very happy. So they don't need no fake aunts. They don't need no fake uncles. They don't need no pretend aunts. They don't need no pretend. I don't need no pretend friends. I don't need no. I just do what I need to do, and that's it. That's it. So you say I was just fixing to say the same thing you just said. Yeah. Jamie said the same thing happened with my sister. Cut that off. I did. Yep. Sometimes that's what you got to do. You just got to do it. Remember, mom came to you. Those were the numbers. Yep. Yep. Those was the numbers for your own. Yep. Yep. We have moved on with the real ones. Yep. I see a different you now. Hmm. That's the reason why I don't. When I talk about certain different situations and different things, I use me. I don't use nobody because I don't know nobody else's story. I don't know nobody else's story. I don't know anyone else's history. I can when I share my testimony, it's me. It's my testimony. It's things that happened to me and my family. Nobody, I can't tell you about nobody else. I can't tell you about nobody else's business. I can't tell you about nobody else's testimony. I can only tell you about mine. Yeah, you can ask me something. You can ask me anything, Jamie. Yeah. I had one person, she said to me, she was like, Miss Gina, she was like, stop telling so much. She was like, don't. I said, girl, everything that I talk about and that I said when I'm sharing my testimony is things that I didn't overcame. It- so where's all these crazy texts? Why it said that my ride is on its way or something like that. I said, okay, about what? No, you're not going to spend the night at nobody's house on no school night. I wasn't saying okay about that. I was saying okay. You said you were home. That's why I was confused. That's why I was like, where are you? No, you're not. You're still on a punishment. No, you're not. You're not going anywhere, and you definitely not spending the night over nobody's house on a school night. So, yeah, that's the reason why when I share, my testimonies, it's so that somebody else, if they're going through it, they know that you can overcome it because not everybody is able to overcome it. You know, um, a lot of people is dealing with suicide. We talked about Regina King's son committing suicide. And he was 24 or 26 or something like that, who committed suicide. Well, guess what? I can give Miss Regina King some advice on that because my daughter committed suicide at 18, 9909. 9909. And so people don't know and they don't understand. And the only way they can understand your story and where you came from and how you're the way you are, because in order for you to know where I'm going, you got to know where I've been. You understand what I'm saying? In order for you to understand and have a idea to get what I'm saying and know where I'm trying to go, you got to know where I came from. So when somebody else get on here, like the young lady, last night, remember she was talking about how her boyfriend got with her best friend and how she was wishing all kind of bad luck, and she was like, I'm hurting and I never felt like this before, and then I had to share with her my pain and my story, and she said, oh my God. She said, oh my God, you went through way worse than me. See, you don't realize that when you're going through it. So she thinks she think her world's finna end until she heard someone else's pain that was 10 times greater than her pain. And she said, oh, Miss G, I'm sorry. I said, I didn't tell you that for you to be sorry. I don't want you to be sorry. I told you that so that you can understand that, for one, you're not by yourself, and for two, somebody else has went through worse than you. And look at me. I've overcame it. Me and another one of my co-workers, we was talking about, she says, Gina, I remember when you were sleeping in your van. She said, do you remember I used to call you every day? I said, I remember that. She used to call me every day. How you doing, Gina? How's the kids? Y'all ate? Every day. And she said, wow, look at you now. Look at you now. She said, you came along. I said, you know why? Because I'm a fighter. I don't give up. And she's going through a storm now. That's why she was talking to me. She's going through a terrible storm right now. And she didn't see any, because when you're going through it, you don't see a way out. When I was going through it, I was like, this can't be God. But then when I got through it and I fought and I fought and I fought and I overcame it, I looked back on it and said, well, damn, it really wasn't as bad as because it could have been 10 times worse. But then when someone else goes through something and they hear my story, they be like, God damn, Miss G, you went through that. You went through all that. And then they realize what they going through is not as bad. See, because you don't know how it is to walk in somebody else's shoes. And that other person's shoes might be worn over, worn out, no sole or nothing, but you still got some tread on your shoes. See what I'm saying? You still got some tread on your shoes, but that other person's shoes is worn out, holes in them, sole gone, and you think you got it worse. You think you got it worse. That's why I always say, every morning when I go and I say something positive. Say something to uplift somebody, because you don't know what they're going through. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody, oh girl, that's a pretty sweater you got on. I like that bracelet. I like that necklace you got. Say something nice. I like how you wore your hair. Because you'll be surprised at the amount of people that don't hear it, that don't get told that they're beautiful. This is why you got girls that want to change their bodies and their faces and they're willing to do anything at all costs, because that's what my daughter did. She beautiful girl, gorgeous, gorgeous. She didn't even have no makeup or nothing on. And then she did. I remember when she first told us she was going to get the surgery. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, for what? You don't need that. You're young. You can go and work out and you can go and exercise. This is what I told. She'll tell you. I said, you can work out and exercise. You can tone all that up. You don't have to go and get the, and then she had to take these tests, because you got to take all these tests. And if you don't pass them, then you can't get the surgery. And she didn't pass, and she had to go to get up because she had blood clots. She had, her blood was too thin, and they didn't want to let her go. And she was mad because she had to keep postponing the trip. And I was like, it's not meant. What? Don't be mad, babe. It's not meant. You girls are risking your lives for something that you can get naturally by just taking the time to work out and do. People ask me all the time, Miss Gina, what do you put on your face? I just use at-home remedies. So, cocoa butter, alcohol, peroxide, just regular household stuff. I eat whatever it is I want to eat. My exercise regimen is walking. I love to walk. You know why I love to walk? Because I get to do what I'm doing now with you guys. I get to talk. I get to release things. When you start releasing, honey, you want to get rid of weight and toxins and all that stuff. Take a walk. Take a walk with someone and just start talking about life. I would walk with my kids and we would walk all around the neighborhood. We would walk for miles before we realized we would leave during the daytime and come back at night. Come back at night. And I would have people that say to me, thank you, Sarita. The young folks, they'll get mad. You old and you this and that. But sweetheart, you got craters in your face. They would have craters in their face. I got all my own teeth. I'm 52. I got all my own teeth. You put yours in a jar. But you talk about me. I got edges. This is my natural hair. If I decide I want to wear a wig, it's because it's my choice. I choose to wear a wig, not because I have to. These girls go bald from all the glue and everything because they gluing down these wigs. Google some of the situations of these young girls, the lengths that they go through. One girl had so much fungus and everything because she never changed the wig. She never cleaned it, never. When they pulled it off, you saw another young lady had I forgot what kind of bugs they were, but she had bugs that grew up under her eyelids from the eyelashes. Bugs. The woman had a little tool and she was literally picking out the bugs off from under the girl's eye. And it said at the bottom, it says this came from eyelashes, from her not changing them, not cleaning them. Her eyes couldn't breathe or anything, and it was the glue and it was everything that was caked up, and just the fungus and bugs just start growing up in it. Another lady that they pulled it off. It was like a helmet, and she had so much gook in honey. It was watch it. YouTube it, pull it up. YouTube the issues that these girls go through when they don't change the eyelashes and they don't clean them. They don't change those glue-in wigs and shit that they don't. This is what they do for vanity. This is the things that they do for vanity. So, and you know what that does? That's even worse than going to get the surgery because the bugs and it starts eating away at your skin and your inside. If you got this all in your hair, you know what it's feeding off of, right? You know what it's feeding off of, right? It's feeding off of your scalp, and some of these things will burn holes inside and then this is why you get folks that say they got headaches and they go through you got other girls that say they can't see. It's where I never forget my eyelash ladies, because I used to wear the eyelashes, and my eyelash lady, she said to me, you have very beautiful eyelashes. She said, you don't need these. I said, huh? She said, don't keep getting this. Because I used to go to her every week. She said, don't keep getting this. She said, go get you a good mascara. She said, you want thick eyelashes? She said, go get you a good mascara. And she said, put that on. She said, wear this, mama, for special occasions. And I listened to her. Do you know everyone else that was doing that? These ladies have no eyelashes because it thins your real eyelashes out. It thins them. The more you wear that stuff and the more you take it out, it pulls out your same way with the eyebrows. When you keep getting them arched and out, because I used to do that. I would get them arched all the time, and that's why they so thin down. And I had big, thick, beautiful eyebrows. And I was like, and I gotta stop this. Yep, I saw that video of that. You saw the video, Sarita? Horrible, wasn't it? Horrible. People ask me, I got women that's younger than, look at my neck. You see my neck? Look, look, look. I'm showing you my neck because you don't see a wrinkle. You don't see, you know how you could, they say you could tell a woman's age. You want to tell an older woman, you could tell a woman's age, they say, from her neck and from her elbows. Look at my elbows. See, I can show you my elbows. Look at my elbows. Look at my neck. My neck look just as good as any 20-year-old. Some 20-year-olds wish they had a neck like mine and wish they had elbows like mine. That's how men, they're able to tell most women's ages, because your neck starts to get thinner. You see the wrinkles and stuff up in here, and then you start to have those old lady. You start to have those old lady elbows and stuff from not taking care of yourself. I'm 52. I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of myself. Thank you, Jamie. You got to take care of myself. And more of you should, instead of going and trying to let these folks cut on you and do all. You heard my daughter. She was like, "Oh my, you need to go get you some certain." No, the hell I'm not. No, the hell I will do some this. I'll go. Now I do got my little waist trainer and my belt that I do put on, and I will go and walk. Yep, I will go and walk. So it is. It's easy. It's very easy to lose the weight. It's very easy to tone it up. You know, if you want to do it without getting cut on and doing a surgery and all that stuff. It's very easy to do that. Yeah. It's very easy to do that. So it's crazy when you do that. You have lines under. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the age lines. When you look at a older person, you know how their neck, they lose that fat, that elasticity. It starts to get, the neck starts to sink in. Those are the lines I'm talking about, Sarita. As you get older, when you are old, like the ladies that's in their 80s and their 70s or their 80s, you even see some of them in their 50s or 60s. You no longer have that that fat, where it's like now my neck is kind of, it's not sinking in. As you get older, you lose all of that, and then you get all those lines. You get the wrinkles and stuff, but you can see it, that your neck shows that you get older. And the reason why you got the older women when they go and get the facelifts and stuff, because it pulls this back, right? The facelift and the Botox pulls this back and tighten this up, but you can't do that for your neck. So when you see their neck, it sinks in and you can see the lines and you can see the wrinkles. Yeah, you can see lines in there. Of course, I got lines and stuff in my neck, but my neck is not sunk in where you can see my age. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by that. So right about the lines of age. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that's why you get those women that they go get the Botox. They constantly get, because it removes the lines, but they come back. So you got to keep getting them. They get it in their forehead, because you can see I got the lines in my forehead because I scrunch a lot. And when you scrunch a lot, you get the lines here, and you get some of them, they call them crow's feet. And a lot of ladies that can afford it, they go get the shots up in here from their crow's feet. but they don't get anything for the neck. So you still know that they are older lady because their neck and stuff has sunk in. It has sunk in. So I mean, you of course you know I'm older. You can see, of course, I got the age lines and stuff, but you kind of have to guess my age. Most people never guess my age. They think when they do guess, they'll say, you're 45, that something like that. They'll say you're 45, 47, maybe 43. I'll get that. And then when I tell them no, I'm 52, they like, get the fuck out of here. You ain't you ain't no 52 with 9 kids. Did you have all 9 of them? Like they don't think that because my age, it doesn't show. That's what I meant. Age changes your whole bone structure. Unfortunately. Yeah, because your bone, it as you get older, everything it softens. You know, everything changes. Everything your that long, strong elasticity of skin is not strong elasticity no more. That strong, your bone go just like a baby. You know, the baby bone is gristle. It's very soft as a baby. Then as they grow up, it starts to harden and it turns to bone. Well, then as you get older, what happens? It goes back to gristle. Your bone, it softens up again, just like a baby's bone. Seniors, that's why seniors, if they fall or if if you grab them the wrong way, it breaks. It breaks. You'll hear the sayings in abusive nursing homes, baby shaking syndrome. Grandma got baby shaking because the nurse or someone has shaken her or whatever, and her bones and everything has gravitated back to like when she was a child. It's not hard anymore. It's soft. I'm 57, but people think that I'm in my early 40s. Yeah, because you can we got something that other cultures and races does not have, and that's the reason why they test us. They want to know what I would have, and this is no offense against white women, but literally at my job, because I work with a whole bunch of white folks everywhere I go. I work with them. Some of them is my good friends, is really nice people, nice friends of mine and everything else. But they would always want to touch my face. I don't care where, I swear to God. They would, and I would do this. I would do this and I would be like, please. And they would always be fascinated. They would be like, oh my God, your face is just it's so clear. It's so pretty. It's so smooth. And they would, and I would be like, please don't put your hands in my face. And then, they would want to touch my hair all the time. And it is because they're fascinated and they want, when they touch us, they'll say, oh my God, you're so soft. You're so, but then they wonder how it's not wrinkling and we're not aging. I get it all the time. My kids get it. My daughter, who's the airline stewardess, she gets carded all the time. No matter where we go, they thought my other daughter was older than her. And everywhere, because she looks like she's under 21. And literally, she's 34. She's 34. She'll be 35 and she'll be 35 9/11. 9/11, she'll be 35. And she, every time we go out for a drink, she go anywhere, she always gets carded. They're like, are you 21? Are you sure you're 20? And she's like, I'm 34 years old. What are you talking? I could drink. She's 34, but she does not look it. She looks really, really, really young. She looks really young. And I would go places and please, you can see the gray and stuff now. So of course people assume that I'm older. Let me go and put a wig on. Ooh, honey, Don't let Miss Gina go put that wig on and do that makeup all up and everything. Please. I give a sister a run for her money that's in her 20s and 30s. Don't make me pull out the pictures now. Don't make me pull out the birthday pictures. Okay. Shoot. Here's my other picture. This is my birthday picture from 2 years ago. This wasn't last year. This was the year before. Okay. And that's a wig. That's a wig. Oh yeah, Miss Gina love her wigs. That's a wig that I got on. Okay. Shoot, let me go in there and get you will never know. You won't see a 52-year-old on there. I go and put that wig on and slap that makeup on, shoot, and put on one of them real nice fancy dresses. Shoot, please. And it's a part of genetics. I remember in school, I will never ever forget. I remember in school, hi Ronnie Ash, when my teacher used to say, if you want to get a good idea of how the daughter is going to be or look in 20 years, look at her mom or grandmother. Pay attention to her mom and grandmother. And I remember my grandmother looking so much young. I was like, look at Granny. She looks, I never forget that. And even on my dad's side, my grandmother looked, she Puerto Rican lady, little bitty old thing, but she looked very young. Okay. So then when people looked at my mom, and I think I had a picture of my mom. I don't know if I got the picture still here of my mother and my dad. I mean, not my mother, my dad, my mother and her twin brother, because they just had a birthday. They had a birthday, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, they had a birthday. And let's see. And what is this? Let me see if I can find it. Thanksgiving. I was trying to see if I could find a picture. I had my mother lives in Atlanta, and my niece had taken her out to eat for her birthday, and then her twin, she has a twin brother. Her twin brother, was here in Chicago, and my cousin, who's a twin, had a picture of him on his platform, and I took a picture of both of them and I put them together, and I was like, oh my God, look at my mother and look at her twin brother. I don't even think if it's on here. I'm trying to see. See, this is why I told you guys I hate these damn. Let's see here. I hate these damn iPhones. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay, where did I put that picture? See if I can find it for you guys. I got so many. I am a picture taking mama. Okay, I take so many freaking pictures, especially around the holidays and stuff. I take a lot of pictures. Okay, I found the picture of my mom. I'm trying to find the picture of both of them together, because I know So this is my mom. That's my mother. I was looking for her brother, and I was like, look at these two look old people, because they look like two look old white man and lady. I was like, look, who is these two? Now, my mother, her biological father is white, okay, and then my mom, her mom was a black Indian, Cherokee Indian. Then my mother met my dad, who's Puerto Rican. So I always tell everybody we mutts. We mutts. We just whoever we fall in love with, we just fall in love with. That's it. I told my son whose dad is Pakistani. I said, you the biggest mutt of them all because you got everything in you. I told him, I said, you got black, you got white, you got Puerto Rican in you, you have Indian in you, Italian. He has everything in him. I told him. And it was so funny because his girlfriend, who he's been with they're not together now, but who he was his first love in high school, and they had been together forever from high school on to when they got out of high school. And she's a young white girl and beautiful girl, but her dad, now the mom was cool. The mom loved my son, told her, girl, you hit the jackpot with this one, because she loved that my son was hardworking, respectful, and everything. But the father was prejudiced. And they said, my son told me that his girlfriend told him that her father didn't like anything that wasn't 100% white. This is what. So I said, because you see my son, you see her. You see her, you see my son. So I said to my son, well, what did you do? What does she do or he do when you go around or when you go to drop her off over there? He said, Mom, I don't go around him. He says, when I go to drop her off or pick her up, she meets him up the block. So when my son takes her when she would go visit her dad, he would drop her off the block up the street. Then when she gets ready to go home and my son goes to pick her up, he has to meet her a block down the street. And I said to my son, well, he gonna hate you if you end up marrying his daughter. But that wasn't the worst of it. That wasn't the worst of it. The other part of it is my son's father, who's from Pakistan, he don't like white folks. So the first question he asked was, he was like, did you get her pregnant? And my son was like, no, I don't have no kids. And that was the best thing that he had heard, because he was finna go. And when I tell you, my son's father was going to have a natural born fit. He was going to have a natural born. All he talked about was, when are you going to break up with her? You don't need to be with her. And which my son and her had already broken up because they was already going through their stuff. But my son, he genuinely loved her. He loved, honey, he loved her. That was his first, honey. He took that hard. But it goes back again. You can't help who you fall in love with. You can't help who you fall in love with. And the Black race is the most beautifulest thing ever, because we make the most beautifulest, gorgeous, amazing babies that comes in all shades and colors. I was just looking the other day on the news, and they was talking about two Black parents. I don't know if y'all saw this, and y'all might have saw it on Facebook. Two Black parents, they had a set of twins, and one twin was white and one twin was Black. And everybody was trying to figure out, how these two Black people make this one white twin and this one Black. We cover all the races. You want to know about genetics and about every race? It's in us. We create all the races. We create all the colors. You those that's prejudiced and those that say we're pure and we want to keep the race pure. Your race was never pure because you was created from us. Sarita, you saw it? Yes. I was just like, and I wasn't surprised by it. If you look at my twins, they're fraternal. One twin is way lighter. It's way lighter, which that twin takes after our mixed side of the, and my other twin is a little darker. He's tan. He's a little darker. And even at the job, it's so funny because their boss at the job, how she distinguishes it because their name is so much similar. She always says, "Oh, the light one, that light one." She like that light one. He the one that likes to work. And we automatically know she's talking about Farron because Farron is much lighter than Ron. And when they were babies, I went to look and I said I had twins. I got this way much, because when they're babies, they have to their skin have to come in. It takes a little while. So Farron was white as the driven snow when he was a baby. And Farron had a little color to him because he's the darker one. And it was just so funny. So when I saw that, Sarita, and they talked about that couple, and they said, because I remember years and years ago, I don't know if you guys remember, years and years ago, the same thing happened to a white couple, a white mother. She wound up having, and you guys can Google it, she wound up having twin girls. It was twin girls, and one twin was white, and one twin was black. And everybody was like, how the hell did that happen? Honey, it's God. It's all God. God, it created all of us. All of us. All of us. The only difference is which side of the planet you lived on. Which side? Some people lived on one side of the planet where they get more sun, and that's why they got darker. Some other people live on another side of the planet where they did not get as much sun, and so their skin stayed pale. So they stayed pale. That's the only difference. But if you cut us, we all bleed the same color. Yep, Serena, happens all the time. Hi, Cleo. Happens all the time. That's why it always sounds stupid to me when you get some stupid person that gets up there and say, we want to keep the race pure and we want to do and all that. Ain't nothing, nothing's pure. Nobody's pure on here. Not the dogs, not the cats, not the rats, not the roaches, not nobody, none of them. Hi, Sean. None of them. Nobody. Now you got, people are seeing more where you folks is mixed you with Koreans and Japanese and the Indians and ain't no pure race. You trying to create ain't no pure race. It never was. And so it's crazy when you still hear them and people in them talk about, and I'm not just talking about the white folks, blacks too, because you hear them saying the same thing about, I don't want I remember, and yeah, I just showed you a picture of my mother. Okay. I remember when my mom used to be like, you better not bring no dark, burnt, black so-and-so up in this house. And we used to be like, what is this lady talking about? And she used to be like, you better not bring no and I'll never. I was at, okay, so you guys know my grandson. I love him to death. He was born the day after my birthday, and my mom called me, and the kids was like, "Mom, Granny on the phone," and I'm in the grocery store. You guys, I'm at Walmart, right? I'm at checkout, or it might have been Myers. It was one of the stores. Anyway, I was at checkout. I had my mother on speaker because I'm at checkout. And she said, "Yeah, how you doing?" And da, 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 da. And I'm like, "Mom, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm at checkout." She said, "So I heard you got a new grandbaby, huh?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "So how you like the new grandbaby?" I was like, "Oh, I love him." And she said, "He a dark one, ain't he?" This is this y'all. I must have turned. Y'all see my blue sweater? I must have turned blue as my sweater while I'm in line with all these people, white, black, mixed, everything, because I'm out in my neighborhood. And she said, "Ooh, he a dark one." And I was like, and I said, and immediately my son knew, the one, Farron, the tall one, he knew what he said. I got the phone. Give me the phone. I said, "I can't deal with her right now." The second she started with I said, "I can't deal with her." That's what you call me for? If that's what you call me, because if that's what you call me for, you didn't even need to call. Like, Mom, you didn't even need to call me and tell me. My son didn't warn me. And then he said, my oldest son, because my oldest son was the one that had spoke to her, and he was like, "Granny's gonna call you." And he didn't even warn me to say, "Oh yeah, Granny mentioned that." Granny mentioned that, when she spoke to me, I was like, "Damn, you couldn't give me a warning or nothing." I'm like, I'm at checkout with her on speaker, talking crazy, y'all. I couldn't even, and I told you, me and my mother had came a long way, but I promise you, she pulled me right back in the past, because the first thing you start thinking about is the things that happened in the past. How she would act the way she was about certain things, and she got it. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. We learned from our parents. We learned from our friends. So I remember my mother's mother did not want her with my father because my father was Puerto Rican. But my mom's mom, think about it. Back in those days, she had no business getting with no white man. And she got with this white man, which and got knocked up by him, and gave birth to twins, which one of them happened to be my mother, and they didn't talk about it. So you know what they did back in those days? They sent you away. So she went away to have my mother and her twin brother. After she gave birth to them, they wind up staying with my great great grandmother, Grandma Rosie, because she couldn't come back to Chicago with these white babies. And she was finna get married to this black man who happens to be my mom's stepfather, who he was the first black businessman to own a business at the Greyhound bus station. The first black man. He had a cleaners, and he had, back then, you saw shoe shine places. Shoe shine shops was everywhere. He owned a cleaners and a shoe shine shop inside the great. I'll never forget when my mother would take us downtown to Marshall Fields, and we would go look at the windows, and around the Christmas time and the holidays, and we would stop in his store, and he would be shining shoes, and they would be people would be picking up, the businessmen would be picking up their cleaning clothes and stuff like that, and he would give us a 50 cent. Remember them big 50-cent pieces? He would give us a 50-cent piece every time we would come down there to visit. I'll never forget that. I'll never ever forget that. But yeah, my mother's my grandfather, my step grandfather, my mom's stepdad, um, was first black business owner to have his own business downtown and at the Greyhound bus. And that Greyhound bus station in Chicago is still down there. It's still there in that same spot. And every time I go in there, I'll be like, I remember when my grandfather's shop was, right there in there. Now, I've never ever met my mother's biological father. I've never met him. Um, I know that they were looking for him, and I heard that my mom's brother found him. And of course, back in them days, they don't want to be bothered. That man don't want to be had nothing to do with his black children. And so that went south. Literally speaking, that went south. But my mom's brother did happen to find him. So it's yeah. Hey Bree, I was looking for you earlier, girl, because them trolls was coming in. I didn't have now one moderator. I said my daughter came and I wasn't even paying attention, and but them trolls was coming in left and right, and I was telling Jamie, I said I don't have not one, and Jamie was like, "You want me to come over here?" I figured. I thought actually you was probably still at work. That's what I thought. I thought you was actually still at work. Jamie said, "What is best for pimples on the face?" Well, for my face, I can only speak for my face and what I also do for my children. When they get pimples and stuff, because we have very oily skin, and that's why, as you see now, I'm shining. That's the reason why you always see me wiping my face down with something, because I have, not all blacks or minorities, but most of us have very oily skin. So that might work for you. I don't use witch hazel unless I got a cut or something like that. But for my skin and for my children's skin, we use we use cocoa butter, alcohol, and peroxide. The alcohol dries out the pimples. So if you keep putting the alcohol on every day, I'm just saying what works for us. This is what works for us. You keep putting that on and it dries out that pimple. And so we use the alcohol, then you use the peroxide, of course, to clean it so it don't get infected or none of that stuff. And then once you're putting that alcohol to dry out, it's also drying out your face. So the cocoa butter puts the moisture, it also clears up the scars. So if you have scars that's in your face from the pimples or the acne or whatever, the cocoa butter will help to clear it up. And then it also puts the moisture back in your skin. So that's what we use. We use cocoa butter. We use peroxide and alcohol. Now I'm sure you can probably use witch hazel. I only use witch hazel if my kids got a cut or something like that. I don't use that on my face. I've never used that on my face. So I don't know. I can't speak. Maybe some people do. Another thing that I've used is Preparation H. Preparation H helps if you got like sagging. You know how some ladies got the bags under their eyes and you want to shrink those bags. So if you get the Preparation H, the wipes, and you just wipe, use the liquid, the Preparation H, and you put that under, because what it's used for, it shrinks hemorrhoids and stuff. So if you use the Preparation H and you got the bag, it's going to shrink them. So we use that. Yeah, it's a natural astringent. So you can use that as well. That's what it is. That we've used that. And I know now a lot of people like the shea butter. They like the shea butter. I like the shea butter too, especially if you got dry skin. That's some stuff that honey, you can put that all over your body. You can put it in your hair. You can put it on your face, your hands, your leg, everything. I love cocoa butter. I love the way the cocoa butter smells. I like how it glides on your skin real good. So I use all of that. People are still amazed when I show my belly button. If y'all haven't seen my dance when I came back on YouTube and all I had was a bra and people was flipping it, they were more fascinated with my stomach that I didn't have any stretch marks to have 9 kids. I had 9 kids and I was able to show my belly. After that, and even my friends to this day, they would say, girl, I had one. They would say, girl, I had one. What did you put on your belly? What did you put on your, and literally all I did use was cocoa butter. I had to tell my daughter, I would be like, stop scratching. She'd be like, Ma, it itches. And I'm like, if it itches, put some cocoa butter on it, put some oil on it, pat it, but don't scratch, because when you scratch, you're breaking the vessels, and that's where you get the stretch marks. That's where you get the stretch marks. And I've seen where some girls, young girls in their 20s, where they've had one or two children and they look like they've been burned. They look like literally like they had been burned. And that was because during the whole pregnancy with them nails, they've been scratching. They've been scratching their bellies and stuff, and they're breaking the vessels in there. So then once the baby has came out and your stomach shrink back, now you got all those wrinkles and zigzags and all that stuff. And that's where you get the stretch marks. And the more you scratch, the worse you scratch, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. So my skin just wouldn't stretch that far. Unfortunately, you will be amazed with how you will be amazed. Ask a doctor. You will be amazed with how far the skin can stretch. You'll be amazed. And the reason I say that, Jamie, ask burn patients. Ask burn patients, because so many people that had fires and that went through nail, and they'd be like, oh, they have to get skin grafts and stuff, and they think that they can't get them, or they can't do, because they say the same thing. My skin wouldn't stretch that far. But you get them doctors that can get them skin. Oh, they'll find it. They'll find ways. They'll get it. Olive oil, carry my kids. Olive oil is great. My daughter loves olive oil. I don't care for olive oil, but my daughter loves olive oil. Two of my daughters, they love olive oil. And even Angel loves olive oil. Yeah, yeah. I worked in the hospital for 10 years. Oh, then honey, they've been stretching the skin and stuff for centuries. Good. I'm doing good tonight. My daughter came over earlier. I had to go and pick the kids up. She came and got Benj. She's gonna take Benjamin to the DMV tomorrow. We started talking about if you go see the Tasha K, we started talking about the Tasha K situation, and then my daughter came, so I got to messing with her. She got to teasing me and everything. It was so I was talking about her hard booty, where one side of her butt was soft and the other side of her butt was hard. It was so funny, and that's when the trolls came in. But yeah, I'm great. I'm good. I was gonna do some readings and stuff tonight, but I'll probably do them tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to the weekend, girl, because I got plans. I got plans. I have oily skin and pimple problem. Do you, Jamie? See, I have oily skin. Now, when I was younger, I had pimple problem. I had problem with pimples and acne when I was young. Like, honey, I used to get them all over my back and everything. And my daughter, did my oldest daughter, when she was younger, she had the same thing, problem with acne, and she would get it all over. But then when I started telling her what I did to get rid of it, she didn't have any more issues. And so now her back is just as clear as mine. But yeah, when I was younger. And my son, now he has problems with acne, but now he's growing out of it. So I tell him, and I buy him things for his face, and I tell him stuff that he needs to use for it. How did you get rid of it? So I did, like I told you, I used the alcohol. I always use the alcohol first because that dries it out. And then I went and I got the acne wipes that the old school that they had. They sell it at Walmart, and you can get a big jar of the acne wipes. and I would use them, and then I would use the cocoa butter, and I would use the peroxide, and I did it 3 times a day. 3 times a day. And if I didn't do anything else, I don't know who you are, but don't come on here with that bullshit, Barry. Goodbye. Um, so I would do it, 2, 3 times a day. And eventually it just started going away. And anytime if I felt, how like if you know how sometimes before you get the pimple, you can feel it. Like it might if you get it here, it might start itching. If you get it here, right here, start itching or bugging, and then you start to feel like a little bump before you usually know. So the second I started feeling it, the first thing I did was got that alcohol. I get that alcohol, honey. I get that cotton ball, because the cotton ball you can wet it real good, and I be dabbing it, and I wipe it off. I would have it all over my face so much that my nostrils, the alcohol would clear out my nostrils. But the one issue that I had was it dried my face out. It really really dried my face out, and so I had to, like, I would go to, I look like when I went to high school, junior high, like somebody skated on my face because I had to put the oils back in. So I would put so much cocoa butter on my face, and the cocoa butter, as it melts, it shines. And so I would put, because I didn't wear makeup for long. I didn't wear makeup until literally I got out of high school. All through grammar school, junior high, and high school, I didn't wear makeup. I never wore makeup. So, and then and actually, my last year of high school, I had just started wearing eyeliner and lip gloss. My last year, and so, but would use the alcohol and everything, because when I put it on my face, I put it on my back. I put it on my back, I put it on my face. I did it before school, I did it after school. If I felt something, I would keep a small bottle of alcohol, and I would spray it or put it all on my face. And that's literally how I got rid of it. That's literally but like I said, my skin would peel. It was drying out. So I had to put so much cocoa, but you literally could skate on my face. You literally could skate on my face. And usually, a black girl in school, if you had a shiny face, you was getting ready for a fight. Ask somebody. The only time a black girl with a shiny face and got a whole bunch of grease or whatever on her face is because she finna fight. And she don't want, if the girl try to scratch her face up, it's gonna slide. The nail, everything gonna slide right off. So that when you saw that back in my day, a black girl walking around the school with a shiny ass, folks thought up. They was like, "Who you finna fight?" I'm like, I'm not gonna fight nobody. And they would be like, "Well, why the fuck your face is shining like that?" And that was because I was putting all the cocoa butter back on it because my skin would be so dry. Miss Gina, I get acne bumps in my eyebrow. I used to also. Bree, I used to also. I could tell you what I used to get. I used to get them right up here, and then right here is where I used to get them. I used to get them too, and I don't get them anymore, but I used to get them too. Yep, and that's what I use: alcohol, peroxide, cocoa butter. Alcohol, peroxide, cocoa butter every day, all day, 3, 4 times a day. Alcohol, peroxide, cocoa butter, in that order. You use the alcohol first, peroxide, then you put the cocoa butter on. And sometimes I would wash it with Dove soap, because we kept Dove in the house for anything. So I would wash it with Dove soap. I wash my face real good with the Dove soap. Then I would use the alcohol, then the peroxide, and then the cocoa butter, in that order. That's what I do. And I just kept doing it, doing it, doing it. And literally, the ones that was coming, they would leave. When I started feeling them, and I realized, damn, let me use this now. And literally, I think I'm about one of the very few kids that went through when I was going through puberty that really nobody really noticed that. Like if I did have a pimple here or a pimple here or a pimple here or whatever, nobody really too much noticed it because I didn't have them everywhere. Now, when I did have a lot of them on my back, and I didn't like that, but I would keep sweaters and shirts on and stuff until my back and or my back around here would clear up because I didn't like it. And then I would have one of my sisters always rub the cocoa butter on it because I didn't want the scars. Honey, that cocoa butter is 100% now. Don't get that cocoa butter or that. No, make sure it's 100% pure cocoa butter. Because that shit right there, it's going to clear out everything. It's going to clear out everything. Yeah. So, and I still use it to this day. Honey, don't think because I'm 52, I don't get pimples. When it's that time of the month, I still, the Palmer's. That's one I use. Yeah, Palmer's been around for a long time. I still get it. When it's that time of the month, I'll get a pimple here. This is where I usually get them. I'll get a pimple here or over here or somewhere and I still have to use it. So I still use the alcohol and cocoa butter and stuff because I still get them. It'll still come. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's 12:17, guys. I'm about to head upstairs. I got to go get ready for work tomorrow. I got to get my clothes out. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to wear. I got to get my clothes and stuff out. And tomorrow, dang, I wanted us to do our crystal ball. Y'all know I always like to end it. I love ending our chats and everything. We're asking questions with the crystal ball. So I meant to do that today too. I wanted to do that today, but we're going to definitely do it tomorrow. So it has to be a yes or no question. So you get a yes or no question, and then you can ask the Queendom Goddess Ball. I just said crystal ball because I got the box and I was showing y'all the box. But remember, we renamed it to the Queendom Goddess Ball. All right. I see you guys. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed night. Don't let nobody get you down. I'm telling you, right, Jamie, you can't wait. It's fun. It is so much fun. It's so much fun. I'm telling you, I love it. And I love, y'all know I ask the questions too. I love asking the questions. And so far, it's been on point. It's been on point. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We didn't get to do it tonight, but we're going to definitely do it tomorrow. All right. I see you guys. I'll see y'all in the morning. Y'all know I'm going live in the morning. So you'll see me on my way to work. All right. Ta-ta for now.